it's nice to have that essence of collective focus. It's all quantum physics stuff. So I'm going to close the chat down for now, and let's try and get through as much as we can before this meeting ends. Just on that, there's so much to talk about. I strictly keep my Zoom calls to 40 minutes because we can go on for hours, and that's not a good thing. The attention span shouldn't be more than 40 minutes. So today we've obviously carried on because I'd like to cover, but 40 minutes, it's not because I'm cheap and I can't afford the Zoom upgrade. It's because I don't want more than 40 minutes in a video. So if it cuts off like that, it's not the internet, it's not the government trying to stop you from being the best version of yourself. It's just simply, that's the reason. But I'm normally count down, I'll talk about it. So 10 minutes to go in the last couple of minutes. So let's wrap up. Okay, back to it. This now becomes what was a field of unlimited possibility for other guys. We now have this little area over here to hone in where price is going to go to next. Okay, this is super important, and this will become incredibly valuable to those who are going to trade at least once a day, because as I made mention to, you're going to have a busy life and you need to focus, and this is how we can get that done. So getting back into the material, this green bar over here will say where the next high is limited to format, where other guys may have closed their positions. We're looking at the distance at how much further it has to go as a possibility for it to turn, and we're going to hold strong. Okay, typically we would be in a position all the way back here, and this is going to motor through to the space. All right, so once again, we teach how we're going to forecast where that's going to be, but for now we just want to use two elements. All right, this green bar on the time, okay, so that's super important, as well as the trend and transition indicator at the top right. Okay, so that's going to be the core focus for us this week. We're going to identify if the market is inviting us in or not, and trading with trend. All right, so I think that's enough information to kind of blow your minds. So getting any more technical is going to maybe counter learn, because too much information, you kind of lose attention, right? So what we're going to do is exactly what we've just done now on every time frame, to feed the information into the TTI so we can get an understanding as to what's happening in this market. Okay, so starting from the top, let's just stick to it. Let's not get confused. All right, so starting from the top, what we've got here is, once again, your cycle. So start of cycle, end of cycle. You'll see at the time at the bottom, this is from December to December and then some. All right, so we're getting a real overview of what's happening on the dominant trend. So if you're the kind of person who wants to just put in a trade once it's allowed you to and just forget about it for a couple of months, this is where you hang out. Okay, so from this element, we're looking at something which is going to take a little bit of time to confirm. Okay, because we have the start of a cycle and the end of the cycle, as you can see. Maybe I should take out our focus mode. So basically here and here, this is how much ground still needs to be covered until then the start of the next cycle. So in other words, we've still got turning point 4, the next low, turning point 5, the next high, 6, the next low, 7, the next high, 8, the next low, 9, the next high, and 10 to cover all of this ground over the months. All right. So many might be getting overly excited at the concept of this being where it all turns around for them, and it's bullish celebrations, and they're popping streamers and drinking champagne, and their accounts are going to come back to where it was when it was at 65,000 when they got in, and so on and so forth. I am, from experience, a lot more reserved when it comes to trend directional change on the dominant time frames. So over here, what we've got, of course, there's the scan square, right? And in the scan square, we've got the fan lines as well as the arcs. The fan lines are the support. So a lot of people operate with support and resistance like that. Previous highs, previous lows. They're a bunch of idiots. Please delete them from your contact list, because they seriously just don't understand what the market's all about. So port is diagonal. and resistance is curved. So as you can see here, we got travel along the support line. There's 1/2 in the Gantt square, and it gets resisted here at arc 2. Okay, that's arc 1, arc 2, 3, and 4, and 5. All right, so support and resistance. If it looked like anything else in the past, here's the opportunity to unlearn and get into the new you. All right, so as prices come down here, we see a potential switch on this oscillator, which is where most of the guys will be like, oh man, it's time to get in, buy, go crazy. Okay, what they're not understanding is that cycles need to be fulfilled responsibly. So what could be happening here, I'm not saying there's no chance in hell that the price is turning around to the upside, but what could be happening here is simply the realization from the market, as intelligent as the divine collective is, that we've got all of the space still to go to form 20.4. We have all of the possibility. So let me just bring it into a more hyper focus for you guys. So the reason why I'm putting a box back here is because it's impossible for price to be considered back here. Actually, let me move. Okay. So if this is the turning point, cool. But anything before that doesn't exist as an option for the reasons that it's already happened. Okay. So it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be outside of this Gantt square, assuming that we've got it right. And let's say, for example, this isn't, or hypothetically, this isn't the next low on the dominant time frame. This becomes a realm of possibility. And once again, the forecasting tools will hone in as to where within this environment becomes the highest probability. But the point being here is that those who are taking their fiat and throwing it into Bitcoin right now because they see a switch on the oscillator on a dominant time frame, if they even understand what that means, could be jumping in too soon and inviting the losses to follow should price continue the dance within this environment. So once again, support is going down there, it's being resisted over here, and basically what could potentially be happening, and it's not 100% confirmed until there's certain confirmation points and we can teach that kicks in, but what could be happening is that it's doing something like that. So just be aware of that. All right, and why this matters is because it's very easy to apply your needs over the market's needs, in a sense that you want to get profit and going long, but the market is simply just moving across and going down. Okay, so the market always wins. So once you learn to respect the market and understand the market, then you can flow with the market, put your needs second, and gracefully work alongside it above everyone else. Okay, so I want to keep this down for now. So why is that significant? It's because this 2048 on the TTI is facing down. Okay, so I want to keep that in mind, even if I do go long on the lower frames, because I can go long whilst it resists and finds a new path within a dominant frame, because there's all this time to profit in. From here to there is 10 days. A lot can happen in 10 days. Okay, so just because it's down on the dominant frame doesn't mean you can't profit moving up. But just keep in mind though that overall it's going down, which will affect your position sizes and so on. Okay, and your targets as well. Okay, so now the 512. All right, so the 512 has a cycle, of course, and that's over here. Whoops, to there, in case someone's on their phone and they can't really see clearly. All right, so from there to there is a cycle. Now this cycle over here, from there to there, is one quadrant on the time frame above. Okay, so this is how these are connected. So one quadrant is a full cycle on the time below. Okay, so each bar is 512 minutes, gives us good information. It's all time related. So at the bottom over here, you see April, May, June, July. So basically your quarter business year. You get an overview of that as a cycle, which can lead into your seasons. Okay, so right now in the southern tip of Africa, we have got autumn. And if you haven't been to South Africa, guys, add it to your bucket list. It's divine. You'll love it. Don't listen to the news. The news is just negative propaganda. In real life, everything's much better. And I can tell you that from experience. I've traveled the world. All right. So once again, this is the scaling for this transition from 2 to 3. And we've got all of this basically. I don't need to really cut off the edges there. I've got all of this space for price to travel along, which means that we could have it kind of climb to perhaps, and I haven't done full analysis, not the point of this call right now. It's about 46,000. And then maybe transition to 4, 5, 6. Okay, all possibility. We just got to wait for confirmations on that. But I'm going to say that 2, okay, so 1 is the beginning of the cycle, first high of the cycle. 2, which is now towards the end of the cycle. Okay, so if I click on 1, by the way, you'll see that over here, 2 is in range. All right, so it's the lowest point within this green area over here. And again, guys, I wish I could get all nerdy about this, but I promise to keep it simple as much as I can. There is so much divine knowledge that goes in just to this green bar alone. So it's pretty cool stuff. So that low is in, which now gives us this move to the upside, and then it gives us that realm of probability. My baby girl's crying, cute thing. Okay, so now this is going up. So on the TTI over here, 512, it's up. So you got down, up within a down. All right, so same thing over here for 128. Start of the cycle, end of the cycle, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. So all largely downtrend. We made a ton of money on the ride down. We saw this coming well in advance. We called this downtrend 24 days ago, according to the bottom of the screen here. That's big news, because once you're in trend, you buy high, sell low, buy high, sell low, and just keep to that. And you just watch the profits multiply, man. Like, it really is such a fantastic experience once you've got this down. Okay, so on the 128, we've got the low in. So it's the 8th turning point of that cycle. And this is kind of showing us to the upside here. We've only got this range left. Okay, so let me highlight this with color. We got that range left for it to turn. So for everyone kind of getting in late into the market and going long on this, they should rather focus on something else. Another market, correct asset allocation, as markets are independent to one another, that have no correlation to one another, part of your trading reality. And we've got gold and US 30, the Dow Jones. So this is not necessarily ripe for the picking for us. And it's kind of late in the game to go long. We would have taken our profits and just waiting for turning point 9, which is the final high of the cycle to form, and then 10 will depict if it's a uptrend on the lower time frames. So if 10 is forming above 8, okay, so high or low, there'll be an uptrend over here. So we're going to keep to this for now, as price has already broken 7, so we've got an uptrend happening on the 1 to 8 minutes. Okay, just waiting for that to complete, and then we'll revisit this tomorrow to see where 10 is likely to be. So we got 512 up, 128 up, and now onto the 32. Oh, sorry, real quick. The 128 cycle is here at the end of March to end of April. So it's a month overview. If guys have quite a busy schedule and they want to put in a trade a month and they don't want to fall into the hodl scam way of trading, you could have put in a position here, let your long position or your short position, which by the way probably would have been done on leverage, so you have multiple contracts, so your multipliers are building in a huge way. Or if you've got a 10x leverage, building in a huge way, and then you know responsibly where to get out, and should the markets invite you back in, ride to the upside. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to be a day trader to win at trading. Okay, there's your 128. 32 minutes we discussed earlier. Start to end of the cycle, Monday to Monday, the cleanest form of a week. Once again, oscillator threatening to switch, but we've got all this space We can revisit this tomorrow. So I'm going to leave that as is. Go to the lower frames. Once again, a quadrant here is a cycle on a lower frame. Okay, so within this, we have 5 highs and 5 lows, and that'll give us the guidance we require as to where price is going to stop. So it becomes super valuable to those who are looking to optimize their profit and not only make profit. Making profit, you're ahead of the game, bar none. Optimizing profit is where you really hit boss mode. And it feels fantastic, let me tell you. Having the patience to not jump out too soon and to see it just escalating and escalating and escalating. I mean, we speak to Josh Little. He's ranging, I think, between $30,000 and $90,000 in a trade. As you know, Jason's gone into institutional trading. He's gone up against all odds, overcame his scarcity and lack limitation beliefs, put that to rest. Everyone's got it. I'm not saying he started with them, but everyone's got it. He slayed those dragons, and now he's of a few very skilled percentile in the world that's able to do what he's doing. And like I made mention to, he's a kind of person that we love around us because he invests himself and he continues to grow from pro ball to stone slabs, and he's done really well. I don't want to talk about his success there, but he's done really well. Let's leave it at that. And now he's a pro trader for institutional money. In October, from October to April, I took him to achieve that. To put it into perspective, to learn how to do open a leverage trade in the typical stock environment, you need to be trading minimum of 2 years. In a Wall Street environment, as you've probably seen in the movies, you aren't allowed to touch a trade for the first 6 months. Okay, so from not being able to touch a trade in the first 6 months to not being able to do leverage trading the first 2 years. And then to get funded by an institution, all right, that's 6 years and beyond. He has managed to do so, as have many others within our framework, within 6 months. Okay, this is big deal stuff. So I'm not going to harp on about that, but when I get onto topic, a sense of pride kind of overwhelms me, and I can't hang back on that. Okay, so this is the 8 minutes. This is the cycle, the one quadrant devised into a cycle with its own 4 quadrants. And you can tell 8 is going up here. So 9 is now formed. You can tell with oscillator switching. We're going to go, that's going to be facing down. Okay, we've got 10 minutes left of this call, and we're going to call it for today, guys. So that's going to go down. This green bar is telling us where 10 can form. It's giving us quite a big range, but with correct scaling, it narrows it down. So I'm going to leave it there for now. And going down to the 2 minutes, once again, 6, 7. Someone's got their mic on. Let me go quickly sort that out real quick. Hi, Daryl. Good to meet you, man. Okay. And then once again on the 2 minute, guys, the 2 minute is going to change your life. For those who have the luxury to do stuff, to do day trading, or looking to get rid of your job or run away from your boss or change, just go and travel the world like I have, then go ahead and get to know your 2 minutes. The beauty about this ghost in the machine or the glitch in the matrix that I've worked so hard to discover is that you can, the same set of rules apply to every single time frame. The exact same set. There's no, well, under these conditions, then that, and under this situation, it works 70% of the time, blah, blah, blah. It's all the same rule set. And when you work with it and you see the results and you see it happening before your own very eyes, it's like it's watching I don't know, the northern lights dance across the ice caps in real life. Okay, so once again, what guys would do is probably go long here because they're seeing the oscillator switch and then this price action kind of going to the downside. Well, it looks like it's trying to go up, but because we have the very scarce ability gift blessing of this green bar over here saying that the next low will happen within this range, we can tell that there's all this extra space that it has still to wiggle around in. So I wouldn't jump in. Going to the TTI, the information we have right now is the 2048 is dominant on the down. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you put your position sizes in and your targets in. 512 is suggesting up, 128 is suggesting up, and 32 is suggesting up. Now, to trade, you need a minimum of 3 arrows in the same direction. So we've got that here. If you're doing the 512, 1-8, and 32. So if you're opening up a swing trade, then open up only with your stop loss, or you won't want to get into this. All right. This is not a good time to go long. So open up your swing trade with your stop loss in the right place. We'll teach you how to do that. With your targets in the right place, we'll teach you how to do that. But for the lower frames, you're not going to open up a long, that's for sure. In fact, guys who've opened up a long are going to learn what it's like to have a stop loss fresh taste delivered to them by the market with courtesy and love. All right, so that's as much as I think we're going to do today. We've got a no trade condition. All right, so once again, guys, one thing about making profit is high fives, everyone. Well done to all to make profit. This is great. Living our best life and making profit. We're better than 95% statistically of traders out there. And that's fantastic. So it's not only the ability to accurately forecast where price is going to go and how long it's going to take to get there, but more importantly, or equally importantly, should I rather say, it is telling us when not to trade, when to protect our capital, to hold on to what we've got, to and just by applying that alone, delivers a level of discipline, self-control, confidence that is almost priceless. To be able to operate the seas of probability and possibility and a very lucrative sea at that. I mean, once again, I don't want to boast, but the guys at MTOPS it's ridiculous. It's just simply, it moves me to see how well everyone's doing. So not only are we going to make it rain, but the know-how of correctly set patience. There we go. There's that price breaking down below. Once again, you guys would have seen that long move on the oscillator, seen it switch, gone long. Boop. Oh, that's what a stop loss tastes like. I should go brush my teeth. So it's protecting you against that down feeling of watching your long just gets taken out by the stop loss that would have done over there. Okay, and this is not bum stuck stuff. We don't like look at some Japanese cloud or I don't know, some Twitter sentiment bot or whatever algorithm that all these scam artists have tried to sell you up the river on. This is astrophysics, numerology, energy in relation to energy, the pivoting of price and time. This is some deep level learning stuff, and we are able to explain with reason, even on the most basic foundation. Okay, look at green bar and look at your trend indicator over here. Those two elements alone, okay, with explanation is my point here. We can explain as to why and what and how and when, and beyond the obvious profits, the sheer elements of the psychological well-being of your trading experience, because this is a journey. If you want to have fun in the long run, this is not here for a flash in the pan overnight stint. The experience and enjoyment of this overall, and then teaching this to your kids, and them having to never go. And I don't want to try and sound like a salesperson, because I hate salespeople. I mean, if you look at the word convince, the first 3 letters in the word convince is con. So I'm not ever trying to sell. I'm just trying to be as real as possible, because these are my dreams. And I know for certain, okay, it's not a doubt in my mind, my son and my daughter and my wife as well will never, ever, 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 ever have to do anything out of obligation in their life. Maybe tidy the room, but that's a different story. They'll never have to get a job. They'll never have to slave away to a system that's broken and doesn't serve. They'll never have to do the stupid, ridiculous stuff that we've had to endure. Okay. And this is another reason why I've worked obsessively for 14 hours a day, not slept, took my phone with me to the loo, TMI, I understand, and just really just broke this thing apart. It's because beyond this, okay, this is the way I see it, where I am now and the best version of myself, limitless possibility and the happiness of my family exist at point A and point B. And in between point A and point B is trading. You nail trading, the rest of the stuff works out. You get into good problems, like which country, and I've already been down this road. It's actually quite fun. Which country should I open up a tax haven in? Mauritius? Mauritius, Cayman Islands. Like, I was in Panama now. I've already got guys who have opened up some special. I don't want to get into it and expose too much, but you get into good problems. Okay, those are fun problems. Which where you're going to go on holiday? Those are fun problems, and that's the kind of stuff that we're doing this for. So once again, this is not just a way to make money. It's a lifestyle, an experience, and something that your valuable time, effort, and energy gets put into. And for these reasons, we're able to dominate the market, because it's about time that you got guys betting for the good team. There's enough military, martial law nonsense fools out there telling us what to do, wearing masks. What a joke. Anyway, I don't want to get too political. I think we've got a minute left. Let's jump into the text real quick. Alrighty. Type in MTOPS on YouTube for basic video tutorials. We've kind of we've taken some of the free stuff away, as guys didn't get the full experience. So we put everything into the paid section because it needs to be a journey. You don't want to have bitsy information. Okay, Justin, absolutely great point. Having trouble navigating the software is a video tutorial. So I'm in the process. There is a playlist for that on TradingView, but it's incomplete because we've just done some major updates and upgrades to it. I'm in the process of recording. I was going to get that all done today, but Murphy's Law got smacked.